Welcome back to Good Knit Kisses. I'm your host Kristen, and we are in our Loom Knitting Cast On series. Let's get started. And today we are going to talk about samples and knitting swatches, but specifically making swatches for your cast-ons. And I recommend that you try all the cast-ons and make these little bitty swatches here, and to show what they look like and to get the experience of how to do them, so that when you run into them in a pattern, you will have some experience. What you can do is make a note card. Now this is just something simple I did just for now, but I'm actually going to file this better. You can make, this is just a little post-it sticky that goes on here, and you could put a little note card inside. This is just a name tag holder, but you can put like notes inside here, directions on how you did it, also what loom that was used and what yarn was used, because you could try different yarn and different looms and get different things and just attach them here. And I've just simply tied them on so that I can tell what they were. And you could even try different bind offs and see which ones look best with it, and then write that down. So I'm going to show you a couple of them, and if you're looking from a desktop computer, then I'm going to put links on top of the video so that you can click on the swatch, the sample that we're looking at, and you'll be able to go to that video and refer to how to do that. Some of these videos are sort of a two-in-one, and so you'll be able to see that. Okay, so I'm going to start with what a lot of people know is to be the first thing that we do, which is E-wrap. And this is an E-wrap. It's very loose. It's got this edge on it. In fact, I have a video on how to fix this edge and make it look like the basic bind off edge. And you just take a crochet hook and kind of hook through these loose strands, and then it sort of looks like this. But if you don't do anything to it, it looks like this. Okay, so click on that and go to that video. Okay, the next one is if we double E-wrapped it on. So like say we put our slip knot on and wrapped it, knit it over, and then kept going and double E-wrapped each peg individually, then you get this look, which is a little bit tighter, and you have your slip knot here. Okay, the alternate version for that is to use the yarn over cast on. The only difference is when you put your slip knot on and you put on and then you go to the next step, which is to double E-wrap the next peg, yarn over on the next peg. It basically skips the step of knitting, putting an E-wrap on your slip knot. So actually I think the E-wrap, double E-wrap, is a better one because it's got an extra stitch in here, so this kind of rides up a little bit. These basically are the same thing. And I'm sorry, these are rolling. I decided to make them all stockinette, and these haven't been blocked, but I wanted you to see how smooth the regular stitches are. These are all a U-knit stitch, if you're wondering what this is. So they have the uniform classic knit stitch. They're not a E-wrap, so they're going to have that classic V to them. So this is the yarn over cast on. Click on that, and then this is the double E-wrap, and they're both in the same video. And then the next one is this is actually pretty simple, maybe new to you, but it's called the half hitch cast on, and it's actually pretty simple, and it's something that you could teach kids how to do. It looks complicated at first, but click on that for the video and you'll see I just use this method to kind of twist it on with your finger first and then put it on. But it does a similar thing like the E-wrap. It has these big loose edges on it. It's, you know, it has a stretchy edge to it, so check that one out. And then we have a thing that requires a crochet hook. And some people call this a crochet cast on, but it's really called the chain cast on, and I think I erroneously called it that a couple years ago. So it's supposed to have like this chain edge onto it, and it looks nice on hats, and if you're going to put it, do a garter ridge or something like that, it actually looks pretty good. This is just a stockinette, so it's popping up, but if you notice the end of it is where this chain is, and this requires a crochet hook to do this unless you've got a large gauge loom and bulky yarn, and then you can use your fingers. So check that out. That's the chain cast on. The next one that requires a crochet hook is the crochet cast on, and this one has a little bit lengthier steps on it. It's a little bit trickier to do, but you can still do it. It looks nice. It has this crocheted edge, and it kind of jumps up on the top part, and it has a little bit of a scallop to it. I don't really like it. I don't really like it that much. But some of them require crochet cast on. It depends upon the pattern. But this is, I'm not really liking it for this particular thing, but all these cast ons serve different purposes, and the designer picked it for a reason. So I would suggest knitting up a swatch of it before moving on in your project, and see if you like that. So click on that for the crochet cast on. And there is a cast on called the cable cast on that there are written instructions to use the cable cast on. It was originally made by Becky Hansen. I haven't seen any videos prior to me making one that I'm going to show you in here in a minute, but what this does is it actually, the cable cast on, I think she meant to say that it makes a cable look on the front. This is kind of a braided cable. I'm showing two different ones because one is casting on and going from this direction, and then one is going from the opposite direction, and so all it does is it changes how these stitches lay. So technically though, if you look at a needle cast on, I made this one that has this orange sticker on it. This one is actually when you use real needles and you do a technical needle cast on, cable cast on, then it looks like this. It's very nice, clean edge. And Becky's has that edge right along here, but it's got this extra thing on top. So if you want this extra decorative edge, you could use that. It's a decorative cable cast on. Now for a true cable cast on, this is actually very new. Charity Wyndham worked on this. I helped her a little bit, but this is mainly her. And she has a true cable cast on. You do not need a crochet hook for it. It's awesome. I really like it. And it lays nice and flat. Now again, this is a stockinette, so it's kind of popping up on me right now, but it lays flat, and it is like a true cable cast on needles. So it looks very nice. So click on that for the video there. And then we have a knit cast on, which is this one, and we'll have a video for that. And click on that, and then if you turn it over, it looks the same, but when you do the purl cast on, it makes it to where, like, let's say you want to start with a stockinette of pearls, then it will make it face the other way. In fact, this sample I actually knit starting with the purl. So, but I did knit a sample for the regular knit, and it turned out like this. So it's the same thing. And in fact, I did a purl bind off on this one, and see how it matches the pearls on this side, and then it actually became the basic bind off on this other side, which is a knit bind off. So you can see how you know, I'm trying to get it closer to a cable. So click on it for if you want to do the knit. I'm trying to get it closer to the needle versions. So click on here for knit, and there should be a spot to click on for purl. Okay, and then we have the long tail cast on. Now the long tail cast on is called for in other patterns that I've seen, and it looks really nice. It's very similar in finish to a cable cast on. See that? It has a long tail that you put on and you wrap, and then you knit on the next row. So anyway, click on that video and you'll see. If you flip-flop your directions and you E-wrap the wrong thing first. You basically E-wrap the tail on first and then knit over the working strand. But if you do the opposite and you accidentally E-wrap on the working strand and knit over on the tail, it doesn't really matter, because I did the opposite on both of these just to test out and see if so. If you're afraid because you messed up, it's okay. So click on here for a long tail cast on. All right, and then we have the next one, which is, I'm sorry, let me flip this over. I know this is the picot. It's sitting back here for a reason. Then we also have, with a crochet hook, the Scallop Cast On. And by the way, long tail doesn't require a crochet hook. The Scallop does. And this one really shows, it's kind of like having the cable cast on, the decorative cable cast on. It has all this extra up top, and see it has these little eyelets around here. So it serves a purpose. You know, it's a little more decorative in nature, a little more bulky. So if you're wanting something cleaner, then don't choose this one. But if you want to do like a nice decorative edging, then go for it. So and then has a a bit of a stretch to it too. So that's the Scallop Cast On. And then we have the Diamond Lace or Figure 8 Cast On. Now this matches the Diamond Lace stitch. Now I'm using a bulky yarn, so forgive this, but basically this is what the Figure 8 looks like in a flat panel, not the double knit. Okay, and all these cast-ons are obviously for flat panels. I'm not doing any double knit in this series here. But this is what it looks like. Kind of looks like a mock crochet a little bit. And then we've got, this was developed by Charity, is the cast on, Charity Wyndham. Basically she wanted a cast on that matched it. And so it looks like this, and actually it looks really nice. It lays really flat even with a stocking net. This one I haven't done anything to it, and it's laying pretty flat. So I'm kind of impressed with it, but you might try your own bigger sample and see. But see how it works really well with this cast on, with this Figure 8 in this little panel, and then I attempted a bind off to coordinate with that. So click on that for the Diamond Lace or Figure 8 Cast On. And then we have the adjustable cast on. Now this is like the drawstring. It's basically what it is. And when you cast on, let me turn it around, this would be the cast on edge. And when you get it off the loom, it looks like that. And then when you're ready, you just pull it as much as you want to adjust. See that? Now, there are limited uses for this, but I encourage you to use your imagination. What about an ear for a character hat? What about a sleeve that you want to do some shaping to, that you're not really sure how to sort of invent? Or maybe it's a sleeve that needs to stand on its own. See, this has a lot of curving, but look, doesn't this look like a baby bonnet? So think about those kind of things. You could do a baby bonnet and then do a picot bind off, you know. So think about that. Here's some little baby picots that I've made, and so that might look really cute. And so the adjustable cast on would be the one that you would want to check out for that. So click on that link. And then the last one that we have here, I'm showing actually a bind off as well. This is the cast on edge. This is a new one. It's not new to the knitting world, but it is to loom knitting. This closely resembles a knit cast on for picots. I had done last year. I had done a bind off for picots to make it look more like needles. There are some other picots by other people, but these are truer to a needle bind off for picots. And now we have a matching cast on. The backs are pretty much, they're identical. The front, the only difference is I have a couple of extra little chains here, and then these don't. Charity Wyndham and I both worked on this to get them the same. So Charity did a lot of work on this, and anyway, I just want to give her credit for that. So I hope that all of these have helped you. I've enjoyed working on it. It's been a lot of work, but if there are new videos that come out, we'll certainly add them to the list. This is just what I have at the time of recording. Thank you for tuning in to Good Knit Kisses. Please subscribe to my channel. Please make a comment, and be sure to make your own samples, label them, put them in a box, and have them for your reference. Have a great day and happy looming. Bye-bye.